how we got approved for my spouse visa extension in 3 working days. What? It was shocking, it was unbelievable. So in this video I'm gonna tell you what we did and how we managed to get my spouse visa extension for another 2.5 years, leading me to getting my indefinite leave to remain in the UK as well as British citizenship. So if you want to know how we did it, well, stick around, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Also, don't forget to hit that notification button so you don't miss out each time I upload a new video. What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. I know I've not done these videos in a long time. I've been preoccupied with posting about elections and political situation in my country Zambia, where I come from. So in today's video I'm gonna be talking about further leave to remain. That's extension from your leave to enter to further leave to remain. This is a family route. So I want you guys to pay much attention to this video. If you're really applying or you're extending for UK spouse visa, this video is for you guys. It's for you because I love you so much guys, and I want everybody to be happy. I want families to be together. So first of all, I want to talk about the first 3 requirements that you guys need to know. Like, you definitely need these requirements. So the first requirement, the first and most important requirement that I'm going to talk about is the financial requirement. Now there's a video about this that I did. I'll put the link in this video, but the financial requirement still the same, hasn't changed. You need to hit that £18,600 a year in order for you to stay in the UK. That's for 5 years if you're on a 5-year route. But obviously there's some people that are on a 10-year route that have not met this financial threshold. But if you're on a 5-year route like me, I've already done my 2.5 years, so I've extended to another 2.5 years, which finishes my 5 years. You need to meet the £18,600 a year. That's the income requirement. Also, you need to pay fees when applying for this extension. So overall we spent about £3,000 for my extension. I know it's a lot of money, it shouldn't be there, but hey, these are the rules and laws, and if you want to stay with your partner in the UK, you have to meet these requirements. So I'll come back to how we managed to pay and what we paid for, but the financial requirement, you need to meet that threshold. The second thing I want to talk about also is the accommodation. So probably if you rent a house, or you own a house, or probably you're living with some people, you need to show that you've got adequate accommodation for you and your partner and your dependents to live in. So you have to show like you've got the ample rooms and the big rooms, and they can accommodate all of you guys in that house, or whatever accommodation. If it's a council house, whatever accommodation you have to prove that you are able to live in there adequately. So make sure you have these in place before you even start putting in the application or going online to start filling in the application. The third thing I want to talk about also that you need to meet is the relationship requirements. Now, a relationship requirement, you need to show that throughout the past 2.5 years you guys have been staying together. So you have to show the documents leading to you guys living together from the point you started to applying for your UK extension visa. So for example, you can put in like bills. Obviously your bills are in the name together, or if you're paying rent together, you put names. Also put like council bills, as well as posts, like letters from posts where like you're showing that these people are living at that particular place. and you're living together. So anything that relates like to you guys showing that you're living at the same place, at the same accommodation, you need to show that throughout the entire 2.5 years. So I'll come back to that. So these 3 important requirements are needed. But another important requirement that I don't want to forget about is the English requirement. Now, if you have a degree that's been taught in English, you don't need to go for an English test. But if you don't have a degree, you need to do an A1 test. There's a video about English test. You can check that out. I'll put the link in this video. Also, you need to do a B1, either A1 or B1. So in my case, I did a B1 because I don't want to come back to start doing another English test. So I did B1, which enables me to like go for indefinite leave to remain. So there is a video on how you can pass the B1 test, and I'll put that link in this video. So these 4 requirements, I said 3, but there have to be 4, are needed to be met. So the financial requirements, the accommodation, proof of relationship, as well as in the English requirements. So, and once you get all these documents together, guys, like be very, very thorough. Like make sure you don't make mistakes, because the last thing you need is for your partner to be sent back because you don't meet these requirements. So be thorough. Collect all the evidence that you have, the proof of accommodation, you know, council bills, electrical bills, things like that, water bills. Your name should be there, both names should be there, so that they know that, you know, you're living there. Letters from the government, from election days, dates, and things like that, you know, just so you can prove that your partner has been living with you for the 2.5 years they've been in the UK. Then after you put these documents together, you're gonna go online. Now, you just go on the UK spouse visa. There's a form, the government website, there's a form for further leave to remain. This is a family route, it's further leave to remain, it's standard, and this is the form that you're gonna need. I know you might not be able to see, but I'll just like tell you the kind of form that you need. And the entire form is about 22 pages, and I'm gonna take you through these pages of how we did it, so that you guys just have an idea of how to put in the information. There are some parts of the information that some people leave blank, but don't you leave blank. I'll come to those questions in a bit. So go online, start filling in your details. The first page is about the person applying, which in my case was me. So you're filling all the details, your name, your country of nationality, you know, the kind of visa, the email address, the payment reference, everything that will come into the application form. But before that, after filling all the details, there are some questions that I want to really tackle in this video that most people leave blank. So you put your address as well, your country of nationality, everything, passport. This is just like common sense. Now throughout this, whilst you are filling in, there are questions like, you come across questions like, if you are required to leave the UK, what country would you go to? So don't leave blank or don't say I wouldn't go to any country. So in my case, I come from Zambia, so I put Zambia. And then there's another question that they'll ask you, are there any factors which would make it difficult or impossible for you to integrate or establish a private life in that country? Please, and I'm not an immigration expert, but this is a very tricky question that you guys have to be very careful. My answer was yes, and the reason I said my answer was yes, because if you say no, they might refuse your visa on grounds saying there's no factors that are, you know, that are stopping you from going to establish a life in your own country with your partner. So basically, you're actually telling the, you know, the Home Office that send me back. All right, so my answer on this question, are there any factors which would make it difficult or impossible to integrate and establish a private life in that country where you come from? The answer is yes. And you'd answer, in terms of in my position, again, I said, because I would lose my secure employment because I'm employed in the UK and would no longer be able to contribute to a household expenses that would be determined to our son, because we've got our son. So you have to explain things that stopping you, that cannot enable you to establish a life back home. So you also, like in my case, I talked about my son, our son. I said he will struggle to adapt to life in a third world country as he speaks English only, which is less common in Zambia, so would be isolated. I would further have to abandon my accountancy studies because I'm studying, severe restriction, my career path and lifestyle. My opportunities will be aiming to provide for him. My husband will not be able to obtain work in Zambia, so could not come with us and would have to remain alone in the UK, working to support us, thus separating our family. So that, even when you don't meet the financial requirement, you are giving the Home Office how hard it will be for you to establish a life. Financially, your child and your family would be separated. So please, on that such a question, when you come along such a question, make sure you answer and give the reasons why it's so hard for you, why it would be so hard for you to establish a life outside the UK. This question as well, do you and your partner have any shared financial responsibilities? So the answer is yes, because I work, my husband works, so the answer is yes. And also, they'll ask you to explain. So in our case, we put like the council tax, how much we pay each one, how much we contribute to our living expenses, things like that. This is also proof that you guys are together and are living together. So it plays a part on relationship requirements. I'm just going through like some questions that are very tricky. If I don't mention any questions, because they're just mandatory questions that you can answer. And other questions that we came across as well this is also a tricky question that people try to answer different and may just have an impact on the outcome of the visa. So there's a question you come across again, that could you and your partner live together outside the UK if necessary? You understand? These are tricky questions that a Home Office puts, and you have to be very smart in how you answer this question. And this is in the application form for further leave to remain that you guys need to answer. So on this, because remember you answered, the same question has been twisted, and the other one you answered yes, because they asked about is there something stopping you from establishing life outside the UK? Your answer is yes. In here, it's almost a similar question, but they've kind of twisted it. Could you and your partner live together outside the UK if necessary? What do they mean? So here we put the answer is no, and they'll ask you to explain as well. But because you're settled in the UK with your spouse, with your family, you've established a life here, you could answer in cases like, we have settled into family life here in the UK, we both work, our son is family rooted in a good school. Leaving the UK means losing everything we know as our daily life. My son would struggle to integrate in Zambia culturally and does not speak any local languages. My husband did need to remain in the UK working to support us whilst being forced apart. He has no right to live in and work in Zambia, would need to crowd into my parents' small house, have a roof, things like that, okay? So you give in the Home Office the answers that you've settled in the UK, it's hard for you to live outside the UK. That also contributes to your visa being granted, okay? So don't leave things blank, okay? The next question, also tricky question that we found, was, have you been refused a visa for any country including the UK? So in my case, I had before I came to the UK, I applied for visit visas, and on 3 occasions I was refused. So please be honest when you're answering questions. In my case, I said yes because UK refused me the visa, so I put and explained the kind of visas that I was refused because they have that record of visa refusals. So don't lie, be honest when answering this question. So I put yes, I've been refused, and I explained why I was refused. Again, they will come and ask you 3 questions twisted differently. Would your child or children be affected if your application was refused? Please, 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 let me emphasize, I'm not an immigration lawyer. If you have dependents, anything relating to the visa, settled in the UK, you want an extension, right? The answer is yes. Obviously, if your visa will be refused, you have to go back to your own country and start reapplying again. So the answer here is yes. Provide details. In my case, we provided details about our son because they asked our son. So our son would be disturbed. We've spent every day of his life together. My husband and I agreed that if that were to happen for some awful reason, our son would accompany me so that my husband can take a second job to support 2 households. This would mean being uprooted from a school he loves and just began to thrive in. It would mean once again separating a loving parent for long periods of time. Things like that. There's another question. Would any of your family members be affected if your application was refused? Here, when they say family members, they don't mean siblings. They don't mean dependents on others. On here, they mean your husband and your son. These are your affected. My husband will be heartbroken. In your case, if there's a wife, his siblings will be devastated. These are my my in-laws, like my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law. Talk about that. And finally, getting to know the nephew and to see him go away, things like that. And then this is another tricky question that you need to answer. Do you have any reasons for wanting to stay in the UK? Please don't leave it blank, because obviously you're thinking you've answered these questions. The immigration officer will just assume automatically that they will use those questions. Don't leave it blank. Answer that yes, you have reasons to stay in the UK, and explain, because you're the one who wants to remain in the UK. Your burden falls on you, meaning explain to the Home Office the reasons why you want to stay in the UK. Say for example, if you don't meet the financial requirement or accommodation, at least this will back you up. I've seen some cases where people left this blank and then their visa was refused because they couldn't explain why they want to remain in the UK. So the burden falls on you who's applying. So in my case, I answered, I have other reasons for wanting to stay in the UK. Okay, so then they'll ask you, explain your other reasons and say what documents you will provide to support your claim. Okay, now this is a very important question, and you just don't explain. They want you to provide documentation to support your claim, the reasons you want to stay in the UK. So, and that is the final question. And then you come across a document that you have to provide. They'll give you what you need to provide: the passport issued, your passport, your biometric resident permit that was given to you, your contract of employment for both of you if you're working, or for your husband if he's the one providing on the financial support only, my birth certificate of me, Lionel, my husband, letters from relatives confirming that we've lived together, evidence of my husband's immigration status, which is his British passport, proof of ownership, of the property. If you're renting, things like that, you need to provide that. Also employment letters, such kind of things. Now on this question where they asked any reasons and you provide the claims to support this. So first of all, you can provide your birth certificate for your children or your son stating that they're here settled in school. Provide a letter from school. Also provide letters from your employment, because I've explained that I work here. So those letters will also, you know, prove as, you know, as the claims, as what you claimed, as in you why you want to stay in the UK. So things like that. Now after you apply and you put all your documents together, they're gonna take your marriage certificate. Don't forget about the marriage certificates as well. Electrical bills, all the information is there of what you need to provide, but also provide as much evidence as you can. After you're done with your application and you do your declaration, you're gonna be taken, before you do anything else, you're gonna be taken to the NHS website. Now before you pay for your visa, the first thing that you need to pay for is your NHS. Now the NHS is about 1,000, it's doubled actually, £1,500, and you have to pay that before you even pay for your visa. Okay, so I paid that instantly. They'll send you the receipt as well as the NHS number, which is gonna appear on your application forms before you download the application form. So after you pay, it will automatically appear on the application form, and after that, that's when you pay for the application. Now the application is about £1,010 or £50, no, £1,050. That's the application. So altogether comes to 2,500. Now in between that, there's like English test that I did. There's a link as well, like I said. So altogether came to around £3,000 for the entire thing, the entire process. So after you've done the payments and everything like that, you'll be taken to a website where you have to take your documents. Now there you have to upload your documents in PDF format, where you scan these documents that you have, scan them, and then put them in PDF format and upload them online. Because of COVID, they don't accept hard copies. They are not going to accept hard copies because of COVID. So you upload. Now the system is, you don't take to your appointments, you don't take these documents. Even if you take to the appointment, you can pay for them to go and scan them there, but they'll give you back these documents there and then. They won't keep your documents, but we opt out from them doing the scanning. The Sapora website, we opt out. So we did our scanning at home, and when we scanned, we uploaded all the documents. Before my appointment, we did upload all the documents that we had. Then I had my appointment on the Friday of oh my god, it's been like Friday of April, or Friday 12th of April. I did my appointment, was on a Friday. I went to my appointment, the guy checked my fingerprints and things like that. They just do your biometric appointment, and then from there they'll check your documents if they are correct and uploaded in the format that they want, and basically that's it. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I got an email saying I've been successful. So 3 working days I was approved and my visa was extended, guys. Like, oh my god. So that's about it. So make sure you are thorough in filling in the form, you're thorough with your documentation. We didn't need any lawyer, we never used any lawyer. We got approved in 3 working days, and after that, oh my god, we danced and we hugged and we were so happy. And then my biometric resident permit came in 2 weeks, and then you have to like send the old one back, cut it in half and send it back. So I wish you well. I wish you the success in your spouse visa extension, and I hope this video has been, has given you the idea on how to go about the application and what kind of documents you need. And you know how expensive it is living in the UK with UK visas and lawyers and whatnot. So if you just read, the information is there online. If you just read thorough, you research, you don't necessarily need a lawyer. You don't need to pay a lawyer to spend more. So we didn't pay for any lawyers. We just did it ourselves. Me and my husband, we did it ourselves, and we got approved. Even my leave to enter, we never used the lawyer. So I hope this video has been helpful for you guys, and I wish you well. I hope you get that visa, because I know just how much it hurts being away from your loved ones, and that's why I decided to do this video. So God bless you, and I hope you get that spouse visa extension. So bye bye. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.